Hello again, everyone. We'll be starting on a new project today here at the house. This is our back door to the living room. Comes out to the yard back here in the back of the house. There's a creek back there. We bought us a new sliding patio door. The door in there now is just a hinge door that opens on one side. It opens into the room. It takes a lot of space up to open the door. But in order to put it in, we're going to have to, of course, take this old door out, and we're going to have to remove the rails and the spindles in order to put in the new door. First thing I'm going to do to get started is remove these posts and rails. These are vinyl. I put this up, but I forgot, since I put it up, how it exactly works. As my dad used to say, I've slept since then, so my memory's failed me on how these go together. But I'm pretty sure that those ends just screw in, and then you take the whole rail assembly out. And then we're going to take the post down, like I said, so we can get to the door to work on it on the new, when we put the new door in. So let's get started. And I was correct. You just loosen these two screws here and over here. They screw into the post, and that allows the rails to come out. So I'm going to get the rest of these screws out, pull the rails down, then we'll tackle those posts. Alright, I got both rails off. And the post, you just loosen those two nuts right there and right up there. They just wrap around the post, so you loosen those nuts to get the tension off that, and the post should pull out. Post is loose. There we go. 4 posts removed, 2 rails removed. Took maybe 30 minutes. All right, we're going to get started taking this door out. I'm going to be using this multi-tool, oscillating saw, called by different names, but basically it oscillates back and forth and cuts. And I'm going to be cutting this caulk out. This is just J-channel right here. That's the metal door frame. And I'm just going to cut that caulk away. We've also got some caulk there at the top where it meets the window. And that should free that up. Working well, you can see. Getting rid of that caulk and free the door up. I'm going to come back with the oscillating saw and cut about a couple inches, maybe 3 inches back here all the way down. And that'll allow me to take this old piece of siding and J-channel off, and I should be able to see the nailer that's on the original door. And I think that's going to work. See where I've cut the siding a little, just a couple of pieces of it back, and our J-channel, and then our nailer is in behind that. I just need enough to put flashing back. There's the nailer of the door right there. See that rusty nail? That's what we got to get into. So got to take the rest of the J-channel off, and I'm going to have to cut this wider. I want the siding out of the way so I can put this tape on And then once the new door's in, we'll put the J channel and a new piece of trim, and we'll have to cut it again to where the siding meets the J channel. Okay, that's 4.5 inches, so that gives us a 1/2 inch to spare. Neat tool, oscillating saw. Who would have thought you could take something and just move it back and forth real fast and it cut. It's really neat for this. You can make a good crisp cut. Alright, I'm going to take the little giant and make a step ladder out of it now, so I can reach to the top of that a lot easier. There's our step ladder. Alright, I think we're loose on the outside. Got all the screws out of the, or all the nails out of the nailer on the edge. I think all that's holding the door now is there's a couple of screws in each hinge, longer screws that go into the jamb, through the jamb into the stud. So I think if we take those 6 screws out, and then again there's 6 more over here that are longer.
Good news, the doors came off very easily. We moved the doors for storage in the detached garage. And all that went well. So, next is to get these Phillips screws out of the bottom. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, threshold.
Threshold. Get the screws out of the threshold.
The only thing we might still need to do is out here, that siding that runs underneath the door. It's a piece of siding, and I think it's just caulked. It's like a piece I put on that's just caulked across there, so we may have to cut the caulk, but it's really not holding much, I don't think. I think the nailer stops here, so I think we're okay on the bottom. We'll see. Yep, screws. 3 screws.
I'm expecting it to move very easily now.
Just hold pressure. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. help, shouldn't it? Okay.
I'm not real sure what I can do on them. Just unscrew.
You should.
Okay.
Alright, it'll be tight. It's right in the middle. You may need to, yeah, it's okay. I know it feels good, but man, it sure is messy. Get it on you. You just got to about wear it off. The door. Just a little spot. Pick off. Right on. Get this all over. I like it. Okay, she said it's 2 o'clock. We started about 9 this morning. And while we're not finished, we do have the new door in and it's sliding free, so everything's okay there. Just need to finish up.
So what you doing?
Been a long day, but I'm going to do this before we quit for the day. This flashing tape, seal tape, and it's a sticky back. You peel the paper back like that. So we're going to put this under the door first, and then up the sides, and then we'll finish around the top of the window when I get to ready to put the trim up around it. I think we should be waterproof, especially after putting this on. And we're going to let it slap over about like that. Cut it off.
Okay.
And you'll notice here, this is the old sheeting on the house, and there's a gap between the sheeting and the stud, so we just filled that. It wasn't gapped all the way to the inside, but there was a gap on the outside, so while we had the foam, we filled that up on both sides of the door. Just trying to keep wind and water out, and snow and ice.
And bugs.
And bugs, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put the piece up each side, and I'll just stop where I've got the siding cut there, because when I put the trim piece over the window, this will lap down over the top of the side flashing. cut it where it laps over the bottom piece, like that. Piece of seat. We'll do a little rolling with it. I think it'll stick okay, but why not roll it down really good, just to be sure.
One side done and 2 more to go.
When we put the new door in, we're going to do something a little different as far as trim around the edge. This is white PVC. We're going to put some 5.5 inch wide PVC trim around the door and the window. And this is a pattern I made that will go approximately halfway across the window. Here's what the PVC trim looks like. It's actually wood grain on one side and it's smooth on the other side. And we've used this a couple of areas on the house where we put the vinyl shakes up to transition between the shakes and the vinyl siding. And we put the smooth side out. We just like the looks of that better. That's why I have this marked with the smooth side up. And then right in the center where they join, in order to get enough radius, it's not going to be quite long enough to reach to the center, so there'll be about a 1 inch space between here and the center of the window on each piece. So got this one cut out, it fits okay, sits right against the top of the window, and this part will get J channel from all the way around, and then the vinyl siding will fit down in the J channel. There's the 2 pieces of the white PVC cut out. I'll just cut a piece to fit in there. I may step it out a little bit here on the outside edge to where it kind of stands out. And they actually sell a flexible J channel. I wasn't aware of it until I done a little research, and they do have it. It's just it's like kind of like rubber. That'll go over the top, and then we'll just at the bottom where it seals against the window, we'll just run a bead of caulk there. As for the door trim, we're going to be using the 1x6 that you see there, of course with the smooth side out, and it'll just join up here and go down on each side of the door. And just getting an idea of what it's going to look like with the PVC trim around the door and the window. Alright, got the siding cut away there above the window. Got the weather stripping tape around the top of the window. So we're about ready to put the piece of trim and the J channel on. Let's see how it fits. Alright, there's one side put on. And I went ahead and caulked it before I moved my ladder. That flexible J channel is a pretty neat thing. It'll just conform to whatever cut you make there. So I gotta go do a little trimming on this second piece. We'll get it put up. But so far, so good. Here's a piece of the flexible J channel. It's just rubber. But as you can see here, you can bend it. Bend it to the shape you want. And it even has curves here at the top that they put in it will make it bend easier. Pretty good stuff. It's about double the price of regular J-channel, or maybe a little more than double. 12-foot piece of this was $23 if I'm not mistaken. But when you can't use vinyl J-channel, I mean, this is a great alternative. Alright, there's the finished molding at the top. You can see where the molding joined. I just put a little decorative piece there. Pretty happy with it. And by being PVC, should last a long time. Got the trim on both sides and the top, so that's finished. Got the stairs put back, posts, spindles, everything's like it was. And here's a look at the inside. Got all the molding back on. Fit back practically the same place as the old door. I did have to put these extension jambs on, and that's just some MDF. That was the right width, so lucked out there. And here's what I'll be using for the threshold inside, where the door meets the tile. This is just a piece of oak. It's actually wall trim. You can see it's got a slope on the top, but that's going to work out really good. I can put the flat part against the door, and then the slope will be on the tile side. That'll give us a transition. And I've already cut it to the right length, and all I'm doing now is just putting some protector on it, and I'm using shellac. I just had this shellac. I've got some urethane also, but this shellac really holds up well. So that should look really good and have a good transition there from the door to the floor tile. Alright, there's a completed threshold, and makes for a nice transition there with the sloped edge. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video on putting in this new sliding patio door. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, and we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel. Thanks.